Hello everyone, today is Feb 24, 2026 and we'll be doing the chart analysis of Nifty and a few other stocks. So right now if you can see the price action in Nifty, it has formed a bull flag. A bull flag is like a pole wherein there was a huge price movement in a couple of days which formed something like a pole of the flag and then some sideways movement within a short small range, so that acts like a flag. So the implication of a bull flag would be bullish, of course. So what happens is either it can bounce from the lower range and then go upwards to the upper range and then maybe still continue to chop in between, or it can break out of the upper range and go upwards. Okay, so that is one possibility. If the bear flag fails, then what can happen, or if it can get extended, then what would happen? So the price would keep on chopping in between the range and thereafter let us see. Okay, so it can either chop like this, not like this, but let me try it again. So it can go like this, up, down, up and up. So this is one possibility. Okay, it continues to chop until it fills the gap and then takes the upward journey. So that is one possibility. The other possibility is if the bear flag fails, then it will just drop out of this range and fall to the gap fill area. Okay, and the third possibility is bounces off the lower range and then go towards the upper range and breaks out. So these are three possibilities that can happen. I think this possibility is highly likely that it can bounce off the lower range and go upwards and break out of the range. So this is one possibility. Okay, let us see the charts of specific stocks. So we discussed yesterday that the Dixon Technologies chart is showing a gap fill. So it has filled up this gap and it has bounced off the gap. Okay, so this is the area, the close of this candle is where the gap started and it ended over here. So this is the whole gap, right? So right now it has filled up the gap and bounced off that area. Now it can go a little sideways from here like this, right, and then maybe fall down a bit, but it can also even continue the downward journey. So probably it can even go down like this and make a double bottom and then take off from here. So this is the other possibility. Okay, so we don't know what is going to happen, but if you want, you can take a little bit of position here and add to it, average it out over here, and then have a tight stop loss below this candle low, which is around 9835. So if it closes below that or for a couple of days, then you can just exit. So that can be one strategy. Kaynes technology is looking good in a way that it has formed something like a bull flag. So in a bull flag, this is the pole of the flag, this is the sideways movement, and anytime it can just start the upward journey, it can break out of the flag range and continue upwards. Gold, it has created this bear flag where the price is chopping in between the range, and this is the flag pole. So let me draw a rectangle here. So this is the flag pole and this is the inclined flag. Okay, the outcome of this would be bearish because this is a bear flag. So right now it has bounced off this upper range and it can continue towards the lower range and then ultimately break out of it towards one of the supports which are nearby. So one of these supports is around 4550. Then the second support is around 4300 to 4400. The third one is around 4232. So this is the chart of gold, and it can even fall further up, and then there is another support here which I have not drawn, but it is around 3500. So you can see this chop here. So this is where it can stop, and that is also coming from a cup and handle pattern. So let us draw the neckline of the cup and handle. This is one. So this is the ultimate level, but this is like a very far-fetched goal, but this is the one that can be easily achieved, and this is where I would want to take some positions. So this is around 3500. Okay, so that is about gold. Let us talk about silver now. Silver is in a bear flag again. This is a different kind of flag. This is a perpendicular flag. Okay, and that was an inclined flag. So in gold you see an inclined flag. In silver you are seeing a perpendicular flag where the price has been chopping in between these two lines, and ultimately right now it is at the upper range where it can reverse, go to the lower range, and then fall off from there, break down from there. Okay, what are the levels? So one level of support is around 58. The second level of support is around 52. The third level of support is around 48, somewhere here in this range. Let me zoom out a bit. So this is coming from long back. So this is around 48, 49 levels. Right, so this is the range where I would be looking to buy. Okay, so that is about silver. And let us look at the chart of ITBs. So ITBs has formed a head and shoulders pattern. So as you can see here, whether you call it ITBs or CNXIT index, it would be approximately the same. Okay, now let us try to draw the head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so now here this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this would be the imperfect right shoulder. Okay, now we need to connect the points from where the pattern started. So this point and this point, this point and this point. So this forms the neckline. Okay, now it has clearly broken out of that neckline today with a huge volume, which is almost double than the other day volumes, right? So it has clearly broken out of it, but we would wait one more day for a proper confirmation, because sometimes what happens is it will fall below and the next day it will come back up. So if it falls 2 days straight, then there may not be a huge possibility that it can return back to its neckline. Okay, so we'll wait for one more day before we can say that it has clearly broken down, although it looks like it with a huge volume. Now let us look at the chart of Tech Mahindra. So I had been warning about this chart since quite a long time, at least a week or so. So here you can see that this trend line has been there since 2023. It is an inclining trend line, and which generally breaks towards a downside. It has already touched or bounced off this trend line for like 4 to 5 times, which makes it a little weaker, and that's why it may have broken down here. And this is a clearly breakdown. Okay, and the volume is like almost 2 to 3 times the usual volume. So we'll still wait one more day before we say that it has already broken down thoroughly. Let us look at the chart of HAL. The previous low was around 3952 and today's low is around 3937. So I think it has broken out of this particular range, out of this particular level, and it can even fall further. If it doesn't climb back into the range, then it can even fall further. So I'm not very hopeful on this one. Let us talk about Trent. So let us zoom out a bit. So here you can see there is some area of support where the price has consolidated before, and it also consolidated right now. I mean, not consolidated, but bounced off the lower range of this box, and it has again bounced off the upper range of the box. So it is within the box now. Now it can possibly go upwards or it can go downwards, we don't know, but you can, if it comes here, you can take a position, a small one, and then assume that it will go up. If it doesn't go up, immediately exit. If it falls below the low of this particular candle, which is 3645, if it closes below that, immediately exit with a small stop loss. And in that case, it can even fall back to the next area of support, which is around 3263. So let us see what happens. Siemens is interesting. So this is a very clear chart, no ambiguity. So let me select it again. Okay, so this looks like an imperfect head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, it is cup and handle pattern. So this is the cup and this is the long handle, a very weird kind of handle, but yeah, you can still call it an imperfect head and shoulders pattern. In this pattern, this is the neckline of the pattern, from where if it breaks out, then it can go further up like this, and then it can retrace back to the neckline and then continue the upward journey. Okay, so we'll wait until it goes out of this range, and then we can, once it comes back to the neckline, then we can take a position again. So that will solidify this particular neckline and it will act as a support. So we'll take a position at this point and ride it until it reaches the resistance around 4100. Okay, so that is the chart analysis for today. Thank you.